Glancing at this heat map, it'd be tough to determine the player's position, wouldn't it? Go on, take a guess. Well, believe it or not, it's the Joker, Joe Gomez. Seriously, is there any player more reliable than Joe Gomez? When Trent Alexander-Arnold is out, Joe Gomez is there to cover right back. When Robertson and Tsimikas couldn't play, who stepped in at left back despite being right-footed? Yep, Gomez. And not to forget, in the EFL Cup final against Chelsea, with Liverpool's injury troubles, Joe Gomez was the one who stepped up for the injured Ryan Gravenberch, allowing Conor Bradley to push up. Now, you might think that being versatile is all Joe Gomez brings to this Liverpool side, but wait, there's more. We're actually about to make a bold statement here. Joe Gomez might be the best Liverpool centre-back with the ball at his feet. Yes, we know Van Dijk is still around, but hear us out. We're going to break it down. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe button, and let's get into how underrated Joe Gomez is for Liverpool. Joe Gomez's move from Charlton to Liverpool in 2015 was the perfect example of a one-for-the-future deal. He was just an 18-year-old from the Championship, jumping into Jurgen Klopp's project from the very beginning. Now, it's been 9 whole years since Joe arrived at Anfield, and you might think he's about to wrap up his time, but in reality he's still only 26, and looking at all he's achieved with the Reds, it just shows how spot on Liverpool's recruitment has been lately. So why is Joe Gomez so impressive? The obvious thing is his mentality. Joe's had a rough time of injuries, starting with a cruciate ligament in his first season that knocked him out for the whole campaign, and then, as if that wasn't enough, he got hit with a severe Achilles tendon injury that kept him out for almost the entire 2016-17 season. 4 years later, another knee injury early in the season took him out for the rest of it. Getting back from that first injury was big, but coming back from 2 more, that just shows the kind of mental strength he has. Off the top of your head, can you think of any other players who's bounced back from 3 major injuries? Drop their names in the comments below if you can. These injuries robbed Joe of nearly 3 full seasons. It's common to see players decline after just 1 serious injury, let alone 3. Yet Joe has shown incredible mental toughness, becoming an indispensable asset for Klopp wherever he's been fit. From 2017 to 2020, before his latest knee setback, Gomez was pivotal for Liverpool, particularly in the latter half of the 2019-20 season, which saw the Reds clinch the title. As we've touched on before, it's his versatility that makes him a crucial player for Klopp. Primarily a centre-back, that's where he shone as Liverpool secured their first Premier League title, forming a formidable duo with Virgil van Dijk. His physicality and speed make him an ideal match for Jurgen Klopp's aggressive defensive highline, central to his counter-pressing strategy. But there's more to Joe than just being a centre-back. He's also adept at filling in both as a right and left back. Those are roles he's assumed over the years, but has particularly excelled in this season. Before Conor Bradley stepped up, Joe Gomez was the go-to option at right back, giving Trent Alexander-Arnold the chance to rest occasionally or even pivot into the midfield in certain matches. But our player's true worth became crystal clear when both Robertson and Tsimikas were sidelined with injuries. Gomez took on the left back role with such ease, it was as if he had been playing there his whole life. His importance was further highlighted when Trent faced his latest knee injury. Stick with us, we're about to dive deeper. Jurgen Klopp is famous for his heavy metal football philosophy. When he first arrived at Anfield, it was all about aggressive, forward-facing football, with games often turning into end-to-end battles. Yet, over the years, Klopp has gradually infused his approach with more control, dialing down the chaos of his direct play. This season, a key strategy for achieving greater control in games has been Trent Alexander-Arnold's shift from right back into midfield. The 25-year-old's exceptional passing ability has been instrumental, allowing the Reds to dictate the pace of play as needed. With a build-up formation of 3-2, Trent moves to the double pivot alongside the number 6, either to help circulate the ball or serve as a springboard for launching direct passes to Salah and Darwin. If you are keen on a deeper exploration of Trent Alexander-Arnold's tactical inversion, we've got a detailed video covering just that. Definitely check it out, we're confident you'll find it insightful. Returning to our main discussion, you might be wondering, how does this all relate to Joe Gomez playing as left back? That's exactly what we're about to delve into. With Liverpool missing Trent's progression and passing volume from deep, Jurgen Klopp made the intriguing decision to shift Joe Gomez from his adapted left back role to an even more unconventional position in midfield. If you're thinking Joe shied away from the ball or didn't have the chops for the midfield role, you couldn't be more mistaken. The proof is in the pudding, or better said in the stats. Joe is the 6th highest among Liverpool players for total touches, with 1,125, and he ranks 7th for the most passes received, pulling in 702. This just goes to show the drive to stay in the thick of the action, always on his toes, hunting for spaces to offer passing options to his teammates. Diving into his passing ability, Joe places 6th in the squad for the most passes attempted, totaling 962, and boasts an impressive completion rate of 82.3%. But here's a stat that really turns heads. 7.95% of his completed passes are progressive, shining the light on his ability to push the ball forward from deeper areas. Now, keep in mind, Joe didn't even start playing regularly until more recently, so for him to rank so highly in these metrics is downright impressive. It's clear as day that Joe was the ideal stand-in for Trent's role as a deep-lying orchestrator, aiding the team not just in controlling the tempo, but also in breaking through the defensive lines with his passes. The clearest sign of Liverpool's struggles without either Trent or Joe dictating play from deeper positions came during their 3-1 defeat to Arsenal at the Emirates. This match marked perhaps the Reds' poorest performance of the season, yet in the first 10 minutes of the second half, after clawing back to level the score late in the first period, Jurgen Klopp's side seemed to find some rhythm. Unfortunately, Trent, who wasn't fully fit, was substituted off for Andy Robertson, prompting Joe Gomez to shift to right back as a more traditional overlapping fullback. This tactical adjustment gave away any momentum Liverpool had as they found themselves unable to effectively navigate Arsenal's press without Trent or Joe orchestrating from the midfield. Now, playing as a right or left back, Joe can also perform the traditional task of this position, which is bombing forward. He leverages his strength and speed to advance down the line. Think of Arsenal's Ben White as an example. Now hold on a second. You might not be eager to hear why we boldly claim Joe Gomez is the best Liverpool centre-back with the ball at his feet, right? Well, here's why. Beyond his passing prowess and ability to carry the ball, Gomez possesses superior ball manipulation skills. Yes, Joe can pivot, fake a pass, and keep the ball close, drawing in the press to create new passing angles and wriggle out of tight spot. Consider these two incidents against Newcastle earlier in the season as prime examples. Against the Magpies, Liverpool faced a high-octane press during their build-up play, with 5 Newcastle players charging at them. In this particular situation, Matip opted to send the ball back to Gomez, triggering Tonali to spring into action and press. With virtually every Liverpool player marked and Robertson not a viable option due to Gomez's positioning, most defenders would have opted for the simple solution, booting the ball long to clear the danger. Gomez, however, took a different approach. He adeptly shifted his direction, carving out a space for himself and sidestepping Tonali's press. In that critical moment, Gomez realised Robertson was also tightly marked. This awareness led him to choose a more direct approach by playing a long ball. In this particular sequence, despite Gomez's smart manoeuvring, Liverpool ended up losing possession. However, a similar situation unfolded later in the match. This time, Gomez received the ball from Alisson, with Newcastle maintaining their aggressive high press. This is exactly why he is thriving at the left-back position despite not being left-footed. Joe cleverly feinted as if to drive the ball forward, deceiving Almiron with a step over. Then, with a quick change of direction, he retreated from the press into a safer area, eventually distributing the ball to Robertson. This move showcased not only his ability to read the game and anticipate the opponent's movements, but also his technical skill to escape tight situations effectively. Joe Gomez's knack for quickly changing direction, dodging opponents, and smoothly manipulating the ball in tricky spots is why he's nailed the left-back role even without being a left-footer. And that's also why we're saying he's the top centre-back at Liverpool when it comes to footwork with the ball. Sounds controversial, right? But what's your take? Agree or disagree? Hit us up in the comments. Now we've talked about Gomez is great at moving the ball upfield, filling in for Trent and bringing that midfield control. We also talked about his ability with the ball at his feet, but what about his defending this season? Gomez is a natural defender and he's shown he can totally lock down that left side, even doing a better job defensively than Robertson. His physicality and speed help him cover any gaps left behind, and he's got a better sense of when to press than Robertson, which helps keep Liverpool safe during transitions. Robertson often pushes up a lot, leaving spaces open that opponents might target. This was noticeable in the EFL Cup final when Chelsea almost scored their disallowed goal. The Blues capitalised on the Scotsman's aggressive jumps and took advantage of his vacant position. Gomez, though, doesn't rush into tackles and his press timing is almost flawless. Playing in Klopp's defensive high line have surely helped him develop this trait. Now, believe it or not, he's made the second most successful tackles in the team with 20. And in the air, it's safe to say that he's really dominant, winning 25 out of 34 aerial battles. His average of 1.87 aerial duels won per 90 minutes puts him in the 94th percentile of fullbacks in the top 5 European leagues. Wrapping this up, Joe Gomez has really been one of Liverpool's unsung heroes this season, stepping up big time amidst the club's abnormal injury crisis. Not only did he provide solution to Klopp through his versatility, but he's also stepped up and performed in every position he was tasked to play. Thinking back, the fact that Liverpool snagged Gomez for around £4 million nearly a decade ago seems almost ridiculous now. It's a perfect example of why planning ahead is so crucial. So how do you feel about Joe Gomez's impact this season? Do you reckon his efforts are flying under the radar? And do you see him continuing to play a key role for Liverpool, even with potential changes in management next season? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below, and if you liked our breakdown, don't forget to smash the like and subscribe buttons, and we'll see you all next time. Take care. Push.